South Kona and Kepano is a big and diverse district. And I would really applaud the fact that we have 4 candidates who are going to be here today. And we will now hear from each of them. And starting with Mr. Masters, tell us a little bit about yourself. It's going to be about 30 seconds, maybe 45, and why you're running for this job.
Well, first, thank you for hosting us today. My name is Jason Masters. I was born and raised in District 6. I grew up in Wai'uhinu. I went to Na'alehu School, graduated from Ka'u High School. I went to USC. I have a bachelor's in environmental studies, public policy and management, a master's in planning, a master's in public administration. I was a city planner for about 15 years. I'm currently the chairperson for the Ka'u Community Development Plan Action Committee. Our family has a history of community service. We run the Na'alehu Resilience Hub, a partnership with Big Island of Hawai'i. We do kakao for keiki, which is about 250 meals per week for 18 and under. And I really have a vision. So let me take this back. So in high school, I produced legislative shadowing with State Representative Maggie Legend and State Senator Bob Herpes. And so that was when the cheerleader was closing down, and it really showed me the importance of elected officials. And that's why when I was in high school over 2 decades ago, this is my greatest work for county council.
Thank you very much. And you are Kyle?
Yes.
Kyle, tell us who you are and why you're running. And because he took 45 seconds, you know what that means? You get 45 seconds.
All right. Hello, everybody. Again, thanks to Indivisible and the Democrats for hosting this today. My name is Kyle Kepano Jones. I'm a lifelong resident of South Kona here. I was born in Kalikakua Hospital. I graduated from Kona High School. I went to UH Hilo to get a degree in political science. I've always been interested in municipal policy, how to really enact change. And one thing I learned as a political science major was local government is actually often the most impactful, by far the most impactful government over the average person's life, up until maybe recently. But so after college, I worked as an intern for Senator Brian Schatz, where I did policy analysis and budget analysis for him for about 6 months in Washington, D.C. And I identify as a pothole politician. My goal is to really put a focus back on fixing infrastructure that the county runs in District 6, like the various county roads. Done? Okay, and the homeowner insurance crisis in level zone 1 and 2. That's my focus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Guy Enriques.
Thank you. I'm going to stand because I'm a little bit more comfortable that way than sitting down. Guy Enriques. I live at Punalu'u. I have very deep roots in this community. I grew up, graduated from Ka'u High School. I actually taught at Honau now, coached at Kona High School for about 6 years, and then coached at Ka'u High School as well as the University of Hawaii in Hilo. And again, deep roots, been here pretty much all my life. The reason I'm running is I really care about the people in our district. And our district is quite diverse. Volcano to Tashimas. Huge, 1/3 of this island.
Microphone closer to your mouth.
Yes, 1/3 of this island. So my goal is to try and improve the lives of the people in our district so that we get an opportunity to work, play, and raise our families in a much better way. I have a very simple platform, real and visible results. 2008, I was the former councilman. I want to do it again.
Thank you.
Yep.
Justin, right?
Yeah. Aloha, everyone. I'm Justin Canelas. Thank you to the Indivisible and the Democratic Party for putting this on. Louder. Okay. I think from a young age, I've always wanted to give back and help make the world a better place. And that's really defined my life and my career. I got a public policy degree in New York City and worked on the front lines in the South Bronx fighting for local and underserved communities that were getting steamrolled by gentrification and corporate development. So when I moved to Hawaii 8 years ago, I really wanted to be a part of the solutions and really try to help and give back to the community. And I helped get $1.5 million grant for our local school, which helped provide real amazing opportunities for our youth to become leaders and fight for the Aina. And I've also, we run a farm and have done a farm-to-table restaurant, and everything that I've done has really been trying to bring resources and help the community. And so I was not expecting to run for office. It was actually community leaders and people in our community that I've worked with over the years that believed in me, which I guess gave myself the belief that I should throw my hat in the ring and really try to fight for resources.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
One thing, when I used to moderate a lot of candidate forums, some of the organizers would say, well, let them finish their thought. Well, if you've met a politician, they'll never finish. But I would like to ask you specifically, how are you preparing to undertake this job? I mean, you heard what I read from the county website about the job of county council member, and it is a big and difficult job, and it requires understanding legislation as well as your district. So what are you specifically doing? And I only want 30 seconds, please.
Well, I'm the operations director for Recycle Hawaii, so my job is to actually work with the county council and work with the administration on getting zero waste policies passed. So I testified at the council, I prepare our students to testify at the council, which they help get Bill 83 passed, which is an incredible experience to witness. So I have a relationship with current city and county councilors, and I was also nominated by the current Alameda administration to be the environmental management commissioner for the district. So in my role, in my role in Recycle Hawaii, I'm doing the job of working with the county and actively partook in developing legislation.
Thank you very much. Mr. Enriques, I know that you held the job before, but that was then and this is now. How are you now preparing to take on this job of county council member if you should win?
Should I win, I think my time as the Hawaii County Council in 2008 will bring a lot of experience to the table. I was able to build the Ka'u shelter and gym, if you know that, 18.9 million in just one term. I was able to bring water to Ocean View, potable water, and I have already gone through all these different communities and created a project list that really simply is going to be my goal is to create real and visible results as I did in my previous one. So real and visible results is what I'm after.
Thank you. Kepano Jones, tell us how you are specifically preparing to undertake this job.
So my whole focus on local government, like I was saying before, is direct infrastructure improvements. I like to use what I call comparative politics, where we look at what are other successful states, other successful cities doing to improve some of our problems, so that we don't have to just reinvent the wheel and come up with new solutions every single time we want to do something. So for like one example, one of my policies I want to pass is what I call the Hawaii Tourism Trust, which is a sovereign wealth fund that we would invest some county funds into from tourist revenue in order to pay out dividends to every man, woman, and child on the island. And this has been proven to work around the world and in America, like with the Alaska Permanent Wealth Fund. And if I don't know a certain topic or policy, I love learning about all new types of policies. I'm very good at finding out what to learn.
Mr. Masters, tell us how you are specifically preparing for this job.
So as a city planner for about 15 years, I authored numerous laws related to housing, highway safety, accessory dwelling units, recreational marijuana, and the list goes on and on. As the chairperson for the Kona Community Development Plan Action Committee, we work with the mayor's office, with department heads. We've had them come out for responses to the Kona Low. We've got the Waiwahine transfer station open in an additional day. We're working on animal control in Ocean View. And so I think, we need to listen first to the community and then, figure out what our priorities are. It's not only what I think, but what the community desires, and working together to achieve.
Tell us how many county council meetings you've attended and whether you've submitted legislation on what. It's a 15-second answer, it's an easy question.
I don't know how many county council meetings I've attended, certainly several. I've submitted testimony related to housing and accessory dwelling units. And then I'm also attending the planning commission and Kona, and obviously I'm chairperson for the code community development.
Okay, thank you. Guy Enriques, same question. How many meetings have you attended recently and submitted testimony on?
One a couple of years ago, several times on the issue with development at Punaluu, and then many times on Channel 55.
Okay, using technology. Okay, Justin. Same question.
I don't keep track of it, but I've done dozens of the past couple of years in my role as operations director for Big Island of Hawai'i. But I've also drafted and submitted numerous testimonies ranging from the aquarium bill and the rules making around that to zero waste policies, single-use plastics, and I also attend the monthly Environmental Management Commission hearings, which drafts recommendations to the council.
And Kyle, I didn't ask you that question.
No, I have attended several county council meetings, and I've also submitted testimony on vacation rental bills and sustainability initiatives.
Guy Enriques, what are the first two things that you want to do if you are elected to this position?
In the past about month and a half, I've gone through each of the communities and believe they're all different. But for South Kona, one of the big things is to bring a Billy Canoe outdoor play court down in Seaview Circle, because I think it's badly needed for the youth and as well as adults for South Kona. And in Ho'okena, there's a water spigot that needs to be moved, very dangerous intersection. So that's two things here. As far as Ocean View, my plan is to build a new police station and move the one from Na'alehu to Ocean View, where 80% of the calls come from. And I've already spoken to the mayor and to the captain of the police, and they're all in agreement. It just needs somebody to do the leadership. So there's a couple of the big projects. I mean, I have a whole list of them right here, but that's just two things I'm going to go at.
Okay, Kyle Kepano Jones, tell us what your first two things are.
So I have larger level priorities, but my first level, the first things I want to get done are fixing, or at least trying to fix as much as possible, the homeowner insurance crisis in lava zones 1 and 2, where you are not able to take out a new policy on a house that you've purchased. And it's causing all sorts of issues with our neighborhoods and making it difficult to sell and changing the characters of our neighborhoods. And I think that the county council can fix that by adding some new fire stations. At least it would go a long way, so that's number 1 in lava zones 1 and 2 in South Kona. And second, I want to focus on fixing some of our county roads like Ho'okena Road, Nali'i Road, the upper Na'alehu Road that are county run and just have lots of potholes, and they're very unpleasant to drive on. I want to just go back, fix as many municipal infrastructure problems as possible. That's my focus.
Okay, Mr. Masters, I haven't asked you yet.
Sorry.
Okay, then I'm asking you now. What are your first two things?
Obviously for District 6, we have a lot of priorities that need to be addressed. I think one thing is the recreational opportunities. The Pahala Pool has been in disrepair for way too long. I think as Uncle Guy mentioned, providing more recreational opportunities in South Kona. The lights for not only the Pahala ball field, so I'll incorporate all of that as one priority is for recreational opportunities. I think the other thing is trying to figure out what's happening with the flooding of Mauka in both South Kona and Kahu. I know part of it might be related to the Rapalohia death, and so trying to take a holistic approach to identify what are some of these causes, whether they're man-made or natural, and how we address them.
Thank you. Justin, I did not ask you yet, did I?
It's really tough because we the largest district in the county, and there's a lot of issues that we address. But I think for one, agriculture is the lifeblood of the District 6. So I would really be looking at how we can create a food hub and agricultural processing center, which would actually put money and not only good food into our community, but more importantly, money into our farmers' pockets and really helping support even backyard growers all the way up to our large farmers. And number two, I've heard that there's just not enough resources and opportunities for our KP and Kepano. So I really want to look at how we can create after school programs and ways for our students and our KP to be engaged, and also bringing in resources for Kepano and expanding our healthcare opportunities throughout the district.
One of your potential constituents has submitted a question, and this person lives in the Volcano Golf Course subdivision. For 20 years, there has been a plan to provide an alternate access route because they're right across the road from the park, but literally across the road from Kilauea Volcano. There is one skinny road in with a big bend in it, and there's huge concern among the residents about an alternative evacuation route. The place to do it is there, so what this constituent wants to know is, what are you going to do about that? How important is that? Where is that on your agenda? And can they call you on it? So let's start with you.
So actually, I spoke to a resident of Volcano yesterday about this. They did mention that it was certainly a priority for Volcano. I think as a planner, I worked on creating emergency access easements. We're currently trying to do the same thing for Greensand subdivision near Wauhinu. I think the access exists. We just need to create it. I think working with County Corporation Council, it's not something that should be that difficult. So I think we just need to put the pieces together and make it happen.
Okay, Kyle Kepano Jones, what's your plan relative to that?
I think that after experiencing the kind of horror of the 2018 eruption and how scary it was for everybody, we should be putting more priority on fixing basic road infrastructure, adding more safe routes to get out of dangerous situations. So if this was a plan that was in front of me, I would absolutely vote for both a study to explore the correct road construction route and also the funding to construct it. And I would want to do it efficiently and cheaply, try to do it, efficiently.
Mr. Enriques, this is probably a question you've heard before, given that you were in council before. Where is this going to sit on your priority list?
For Volcano, well, when I was back in 2008, we never really went into that. But for Volcano, it is right now. Because of like the volcano action and earthquakes, they need a way out. So yes, I have already looked into it. There are two options, one through Mauna Loa Road. In the very far back is a winery. And that's where you would go out and try to make an extension to connect to Mauna Loa Road or go the other way towards Volcano to, I believe, I can't remember the name of that street. But there are two options in which we can look to make an escape route. It's just a matter of funding.
Okay, Mr. Canelas.
Yeah, this is all my friends up here said. Of course, this is a priority. Safety is of course a top priority, and we've had our access cut off due to options and to give it the priority. So yeah, it's about understanding whose properties and where the easements are and be able to create the access, putting together, as he said, a study to actually get the routes and the stakeholders in play. And then I think it's about working with our partners at the state level and potentially looking where there could be infrastructure funds at the federal government as well. And also working with our congressional representatives, because each congressional representative and senator does have appropriation funds that they can commit to projects and safety projects. So yeah, looking at a holistic approach and working with our partners to get it done.
As you all probably know, the subject of animal control has been huge since the Hawaii County, or the Hawai'i Island Humane Society, gave up animal control several years ago. It was turned over to the county, and it went to a nonprofit, and then it's at the county, it's at the police. Now there's an agency, but your district has a number of problems with out of control dogs, especially. I mean, if you look what happened in Ocean View, total tragedy. So several people want to know, what is your plan to deal with animal control in a way that actually addresses it. And we'll start with you, Mr. Enriques.
Thank you. It is a serious problem, and it's just not dogs. That's the main one. Just 2 days ago, I was up there trying to help a lady with a goat, and even the police tried to deal with this goat who was eating all of her stuff. And that's minor compared to the dogs. But my plan is to bring an animal control building there with an attendant that's working it all the time. Right now, if you have a problem, they got to come from Hilo. If they catch one dog, they got to go all the way back. So the process that they have right now doesn't work. So if we build an animal control center right next to the police station, and I think we already have that place kind of identified. It has to have county water. So I think that's the start to get control of the animals.
Thank you. Justin Canelas.
Yeah, so at a recent CUP meeting, Michelle Galimba had presented on this, and it's about one, identifying a site and making sure that there's a site that can accommodate the proper resources necessary to take care of the dogs. I think this is where public-private partnerships can be really valuable, is looking at spay and neuter clinics that could set up shop there. So we're not just releasing dogs and cats to then procreate and continue the problem. But I think this is a good use of county funds to get a facility, get a staffing, because that's also jobs too, to be able to do that, but have one dedicated to Kahu, and looking at it either being, I know in Ocean View there was a potential site, and also looking at the Nautilus transfer station, there was some county sites there. So yeah, an incredibly important problem, and one that I'd like to see addressed within the next several months, and not keep lingering on and going years and years as it's been.
Okay. Justin Masters.
Jason.
No other question?
Yeah, Jason Masters.
Dogs. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
fine.
Jason Justin. I apologize.
But as Justin just mentioned, we did have a current council person, Michelle Galimba, at our CDP meeting back in March to tell us what's not working, I guess, rather, with animal control. I think the first thing is that we don't even have an animal control officer, and so ironically, some of the animal control officers live in Kahu, but they don't work in Kahu. So I think it'd be important first to have, for Kahu and all of Council District 6, to have animal control officers assigned to that area. I think that'll be a lot more effective than waiting for an actual facility to be created. I think there's a lot of opportunities to create a facility. And so we need to identify that and move forward working with it. I think regarding employment, I work at the high school, we need to consider having internships perhaps, so that we can have people from Kahu and Council District 6 be involved in the animal control process.
Kyle Jones, last but not least.
So I believe the animal control issue is really a two-pronged issue. First, we have things like an explosion of cats, lots of cats breeding in places, which is the county just banned feeding of cats on local property. We need a way to manage a large amount of feral cats without treating them inhumanely. And I've been a very long, consistent supporter of the Advocates organization and other spay, neuter, and release organizations. And I think the county can continue to support them. But the second problem, and goes with animal control, is the out-of-control dogs and attacks that happen. And I think, yes, we need an animal control facility that you can call consistently. So it's not like, you're calling one place, you're calling the Humane Society, they don't do it, you have to call this other place, and you have to do all these things to even call in a dog. It should be consistent, it should be clear. But we also need the police to take the issue of aggressive dogs seriously before they even cause an injury. I've been on the receiving end of dog attacks, and I think everybody deserves to live in a safe community.
Thank you very much. And the final question for each of you, and I will hold you to 30 seconds only, is your final comments. This is your chance. And of course, you all have booths out there, tables set up, so I urge people, when we're done with this part of the program, to stop by and talk with you. So we will talk with you, start with you, Justin Canelas.
Well, I think it would be an honor in my life to be able to represent and serve this community. And I, in my track record of being here in Hawaii, there's tangible things that I got done and given back. And I think people say me in the community, they're like, you're already kind of doing the work of county councilor. But, so to actually be able to be in that office and be able to, as the county councilor, be able to bring more resources, look at expanding grants, empowering our local nonprofits and organizations, and also as a project manager, just getting
Thank you,
things done.
Justin. Mr. Enriques, 30 seconds, why you?
I think I have the experience. I have a simple platform. Get a project list, which I'm still creating. Hold myself publicly accountable by putting this on the website and coming back to you and saying, hey, this is working, this is stalled, why, and what's next, so that I can produce real and visible results like I did for our district previously.
Thank you very much. And you give 10 seconds back to somebody in the universe. Thank you very much. Yes. Kepano Jones.
I just want to say I'm going to be a tireless advocate for the working class person in South Kona. I want to take the power of the county council, which is a very powerful position, as it's in control of a lot of our lives, and I want to improve as many infrastructure parts and infrastructure issues in South Kona as I can. My focus is going to be on creating more walkable. A more walkable area for everybody here, it's more livable, more bikeable, and I'm not going to sign a county budget that doesn't include some of the priorities we've talked about for District 6. That's what I want to do. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. And last, Jason Masters.
Sorry, I
That's
keep
your name right
forgetting
this
that.
time, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So as I mentioned, this has been my dream job since I was in high school. I think most people that have known me since I was in high school, I'm selling on the Hokulea on the Nainoa Thompson. When I was in college, when I was a city planner, everyone knows that this has always been my effort, is to come back and serve our community. I think we have a lot of priorities and very diverse communities. Miloliki hasn't had a transfer station in too long. There's so many things that we need to work on. I think that, providing for the community that has helped create make me the person I am today is my greatest dream, and I look forward to serving.
Let's give a round of applause to these candidates. Thank you all for running.